Good evening. This is Late Night Live, the DCN Smoke, coming to you to talk about what happened today at the Edgecombe County Democratic Party County Convention. That was Reverend Roy Gray, that did the prayer. Obviously, the chair didn't hear it. But I will be talking about that part later. But continue to listen as I prepare to talk about what happened today at the Edgecombe County Democratic Party County Convention. One of the worst I have ever attended. But I'll be coming back to talk about it. So continue to listen, and I will be beeping in to touch bases on some things as it plays out. I was safe, and I was able to how be respectful of each other, but most of all, Lord, how to be respectful of you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Remember that part, inclusion at all levels. And then now, I wonder why people continue to do silent prayers. Continue on. And we will do our roll call at this moment. 3, West Edgecombe, Kimberly Lyons, Melody Bradley. 12-5, Richard Petway, Dale Jackson, Rocky Mountain. That completes the roll call at this time. 12-4.
It's only because there's no officer. Okay, so we do have a quorum to start our meeting. The next thing is to pledge of allegiance. If you understand.
All right. It was said that we had a quorum, but what constituted the quorum? See, you gotta know what's going on in order to be able to follow. But when you're following, when folk don't know what's going on, it's the blind leading the blind. But they say we had a quorum. How do we know?
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to recognize we have a visitor in the house before we go forward with our meeting. Because the visitors that come, they are making their rounds to the other counties that are having their meetings. So if I might introduce to you Judge Alicia Slaughter.
Good morning. I just wanted to stop in and bring greetings and say hello as you all get underway with the important work. Good to see you all. You all are here and you do the work, so you know the importance. I just want to say, I know some people are tired. It's no time to be tired. The work must continue. And so my word and my inspiration for the day is don't quit. We have municipal elections coming up, followed by midterm elections. So there is no time to go to sleep at the wheel. Take a break. I tell people you have your neighbors, tap in and out as you need to, but understand the work must continue. I'm happy to be here with you all. I'll stay for a little bit before I head to Nash County, but good luck, congratulations, keep going. All right?
Okay, so now we're going to start our election process.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jean Ruth Giles. I'm coming out of Macclesfield 9-1. I do want to introduce, we had a nominating committee. I'm going to ask them to please stand. That is Sadie Harris. Okay. George Barnes. And Deborah Jordan. Thank you all. The floor now is official.
You know, I question the nominating committee. What was its purpose? Oh, I know what it was, and I'll talk about that later. But I never seen the Democratic Party carry out an election of this nature by opening it up the way it did. And now Gene Giles is carrying out the election process. I thought the nominating committee just submit a slate of names, and then anyway, just listen to this part. Continue on.
Open for the Edgecombe County Executive Committee officers.
We
would ask that you will follow the rules of the House. We ask everyone to be respectful. We will speak one at a time after being recognized to speak. Limit sidebar talking, if you would, so that we all hear what is going on and what's being said. We are asking the precinct chair or the designee to give us the number of votes and give out the candidates. The precinct chair or the designee. When there is no opponent, we are going forth and the nominee will be confirmed by the vote of acclamation. If there's no opponent to the person to the office, then we can confirm them by acclamation. Each precinct should know your number of votes. Okay. Questions before we begin? I want to give a summary of the position and then give the name of the nominee. We're going to ask the nominee to come and allow them 2 to 3 minutes just to share their qualifications for the position, and then we will go to the election. So we're going to do them one by one, right?
Wow. Nominating committee. So did this committee nominate them, or what just is the role of this nominating committee? I'm confused. Again, I thought that they would just give a slate of the names and sit down, but just listen, continue to see how it all unfolded. Wow, I messed up. Let me see, can I get back to where we were?
Roy, just the other order, origin, religion, ethnicity, in order that a program in conduct topics. And we will do.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, our approach.
Thank you.
Then, Jarvis Headway, 1-3. Rick Barnes, 5-1. Johnson, George Moore, Williams, roll call.
Okay, so we do have.
Y'all, just give me a minute. I have truly. Let me see, can I get back over?
Agent of change.
Let me back up.
What he was supposed to be an agent of change in the environment that he sends you in. Okay?
I am all over the place. Hold on, y'all. Let me
the nominee to come and allow them 2 to 3 minutes just to share their qualification for the position, and then we will go to the election. So we're going to do them one by one. All right? Okay. The very first position that we have is secretary. Right? The duties of the secretary. The duties of
All right, before we listen to the beginning of the election process, I was trying to figure out how did the election process start out with the secretary instead of starting out at the top with the chair. And if it had been a new chair, then the chair would have carried out the rest of the meeting, be it the old chair or the new chair. But listen to what happened, and you'll see why it was done like it was done.
the county secretary shall include keep and maintain in good order all records of the county executive committee. Issue all meeting notes in writing and consistent with the requirements of the plan of organization. Carry out other duties as assigned by the county executive committee. Transact all records pertaining to the office to success within 10 days of vacating the office. The nominee for this position is Mrs. Jacqueline Branch. She has been serving as secretary since 2023 for 2 years. She enjoys working the minutes. She works at the headquarters. She has understanding of how the precinct works. She's available to answer questions, and she's established rapport with the candidates and incoming visitors. And she likes to stay abreast of news that's important to the headquarters. At this time, we'd like Ms. Jackie Branch to come, and she'll share a few 2 to 3 minutes about herself.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
As you know, currently I am your secretary. I'm just going to say that I'm trying to do the best that I can with the minutes. And I know sometimes they run overly long, but I'm learning how to condense them down, and that's the reason why I've invited you to bring your own secretaries when you come to these meetings, so that if there's something that's not in the notes, your secretaries can also record those. But however you decide today, it has been my pleasure.
Now, I didn't understand that part right there, bring your secretary to the meeting. I'm trying to figure that part out.
To serve at your leisure as your secretary of the Edgecombe County Democratic Party here in Edgecombe County. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion that this, any of the nominees from the floor, sorry. The nominees from the floor? We have them? All right. Then we'll go forward. Can we get a motion that we will accept, at least we'll make a motion to accept Ms. Jackie Branch as our secretary?
So moved.
Second? Second. Okay. It is properly motioned and the second that we will accept Ms. Jackie Branch as our secretary. And there being no opposition, then she will assume it by acclamation. All right. Our next position is third vice chair. Third vice chair. The position, the duties of the county third vice chair shall be such as assigned by the county chair. Serve as the publicity chair for the county executive meeting. Utilizing newspapers, newsletters, illuminate policy issues, and announce political activities or compliments to the voters in the county. Carry out other duties assigned by the county executive committee. Transact all records pertaining to the office to the success within 10 days of leaving the office. Our candidate for the third vice chair is Ms. Donna C. Van Dilly. And just a few words about her. She says she's a retired educator, a lifelong liberal. Her goals are to help with public education, living wage jobs, affordable health care, and food and housing, and a peace of mind for all people in the USA. You may have the floor, Ms.
I don't think I need a microphone. I'm used to great danger. As a Democratic Party, we really have to pull together and flip Mr. Tillis and Mr. Budd, because I've been writing to them and their responses to me are not satisfactory. They're just supporting the line. And even the most recent one from Mr. Budd was kind of accusing judges of overstepping their boundaries. That frightens me. Because if that administration isn't going to listen to the judges, the next step is for them to get the federal marshals. How ugly do they want to be? Put it that way. So I'm happy to accept.
Also, can I just say, the qualifications of Donovan is that she is well versed in many websites.
Yes,
doing the layouts of business cards as well as our tickets for our fundraisers. There's a lot that she's aware of as far as putting out information on the media while meetings. This is the reason why she accepted the position, because she knows how to get out information out there. And so I just wanted to put out that your qualifications for that position is well known. Thank you.
Wow. So that explains it why the chair had it so that she would come at the end of the elections. I have never seen such an election where the chair speaks up to talk about the candidates. And I'm glad Giles did get it right that time, candidate and not the nominee. I felt much better when she said candidate versus nominee. But again, goes to show how this election was stacked. And as we continue, you'll see further how it was stacked, which I had got a phone call anyway about how the chair was calling around trying to get folk to run against folk. So just continue on to listen to the election process. I'm going to play up until the election process plays out and just a little bit after.
Are there any nominations from the floor? If not, then can I get a motion to accept Ms. Donaldine Vandeli as our Thank you. And second. Thank you. The proper motion and second that Ms. Donaldine Vandeli will be now our third vice chair. The next position.
All right. Miss Donaldson Vandeli. I remember her when she was a member of the Democratic Women around 5, 6, 7 years ago, somewhere around when the newly appointed sheriff Clee Atkinson came on board. I think he's been on about 7 years now, or longer, or maybe a little shorter. But however, I remember something about she was serving in the Democratic Women, but she was not a Democrat. Can't remember if she was unaffiliated or with another party, but I do know she stepped away. And I learned recently at our last Democratic Party meeting last month that she was at the meeting, and the chair talked about her being to do well. So basically what she said tonight. So again, you can see how the election process was stacked. So we'll continue on.
Is the second vice chair. Right? The duties of the duties plan and organize training sessions for county executive committee members and other interested Democrats. Carry out other duties assigned by the county executive committee. Transact all records within 10 days of vacating the office.
Did she not say that position was for Nayleen, Miss Richardson? That's what it sounded like to me. But continue.
So she's born and raised in Washington, D.C., moved to Rocky Mount in 1984, moved back and forth for a few times, then found aside to stay in 2015. She's a widow with 3 children, a resident now of Edgecombe County. She's active in her community and her church, and she's always willing to help and to learn.
I don't need a mic here. I have a built-in mic. So, y'all just heard what she said. I do a lot of things in my community. I would consider myself a very active activist in my community. I've started several organizations to help people with homelessness. I volunteer now at the homeless shelter. I take in different meetings to that shelter at McDonald Street in Rocky Mount. We started an organization this year to help the Democratic Party get people to the polls and get them registered. I started an organization called Love Walk. We go out and we go into the communities, we do surveys, and we also make sure that people are registered to vote because that has been a very big problem in Rocky Mount, getting people out to vote. And so this year we have, for our 3rd year, but this is our biggest year during the Love Day, we've been granted the entire Sunset Park. And so we will have first Saturday in August, a Love Day for the entire Rocky Mount, which everybody, I hope, will get involved in that. Because it's to let people know that at that time we will be registering people. We will be doing a lot of things at that park that day. And you can bring your family and your children because at that day the whole park is free for the kids and there will be food and all kinds of things. So I'm just busy. I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to work extremely hard because that's what I do.
Thank you, Ms. Richardson.
Wow. I know Miss Richardson, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But what I didn't hear was her question about her working Rocky Mount and not out in the county, and I'll remind you of that further on as I continue to play, continue the meeting.
If I might interrupt, I'm sorry. The reason why you're hearing some names called off is we put out a call a while ago asking anyone that wants to run for a position, submit your name. And so these are the people who submitted their names, and with submitting their names have been looked at for the positions that they have held to know that they can do those positions. And as well as people who will work as a team player, not a solo person. So we need team players. And so these people have said that they wanted to step up to the plate. As all of us know, these are volunteer positions. Some people think that we're being paid for what we do. We do not. We don't receive a penny for any one of our personal needs. As a matter of fact, we put out some pennies out of our pockets in order to do what it is that we do. So I hope everyone who votes are voting not on a friendship basis, but on a need basis of this person is qualified to do what it is that they say that they'll do. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Wow, I'll be damned. Now this is confirmation for me that this was actually a nominating committee to seek folk to run that the chair say will be a team player and qualified. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Wow. Again, that's why in my opinion, that's why the chair position did not come first as usual. Not saying it can't be done that way. I don't know. Haven't checked into it. However, I know when we went to the state executive committee meeting in Wilson in February, I don't think they did it that way. Matter of fact, I know they didn't, and I videoed the meeting and post it on Facebook Live and YouTube. So I know it was not done that way, simply because the chair, um, um, simply because it was not done that way. It was done from the head down and not the top. I mean, from the top down and not from the bottom up. And you would have to been there to see what role our chair played. And while I'm on that subject, I'm gonna drop this right here. Tickles me because folk were not made aware that the state executive committee meeting was held in Rocky Mount last year, the summer meeting, and then the winter meeting this year at Sally B. Howard in Wilson. At that time, up until today, the chair, Alfreda Garrett, was an executive committee, a state executive committee member, simply because of the chair position. Abby Lane was the other chairperson. He was the vice chair. He was on the state executive committee. That was myself and Deborah Jordan. Now I questioned today when we got to that point. Was it not supposed to be 2 men and 2 women? And actually, it used to be wanted a racial makeup. However, one white person mentioned to me last year, when we did it, the election, that it wasn't like that. I think she had been nominated, but Deborah Jordan was chosen. But anyway, at the state executive committee meeting in February, nobody showed up but myself, the chair, Deborah Jordan. Abby Lane did not show up and did not send a proxy. Did not show up, did not send a proxy. Only other 2 people there from Edgecombe County that I know of was Reverend Roy Gray. He called me about it, and he showed up, and Marsha Cooper. Roy Gray could have been Abby's proxy. But because the chair went to nominate the first vice chair, Jonah Garson, nobody knew from the county. I didn't even know. I was there and did not know she was going to go up there and nominate Jonah Garson. So if you continue to follow, you'll see how no damn inclusion has been a part of this party since the last election. It's been all about running behind the state chair, the first vice, second vice, had them here several times. Been about feeding folk when the party said they didn't want to be fed. Lack of information being given out about what's going on this local, state, and national level with all that's going on. But let me continue to play this, and I'll get back to that.
Nominations from the floor. Hear none. May I get a motion and a second? That Ms. Nolly Richardson will now assume the position of second vice chair. All right. The next position is first vice chair. Just briefly, without duties. Preside at the county executive meetings, the convention in absence of the chair. Plan and organize executive committee meetings and county conventions. Notify precinct chairs as to the number of votes each precinct is entitled to. Serve as the coordinator for all precinct and party organizing within the county. The candidate we have for that is Mr. Robert Oshaw. He is absent. He's called in to work, but he has confirmed that he would like to serve in that position. I'm going to read some information about him, but he is absent, he's not here. But I'll read what he shared about himself. He says, Roberts attended training in the Atlanta to become a certified field organizer with MoveOn.org. He has spent the last 2 years working with the Democratic Party doing field research and multiple campaigns across several states on outreach. He also spent time building relations not just in communities across Edgecombe County that aren't typically reached, but with political figures across the states and nationally. He is now ready to bring the experience and the new vision to Edgecombe County to continue building on the movement that has begun. And this was there any problem in his absence or there? You want to speak, Ed?
So Robert couldn't be here. He called in to work last minute. So he sends, his regrets for not being here. I will speak on his behalf, being that he is my husband. I think I probably know him better than pretty much anyone. And I've been there with him through this entire journey of him kind of discovering himself politically. Several years, 3 years back actually, when I was attending meetings and trainings, he was actually sitting in on these meetings as my personal assistant at the time, simply so that we could get him into the room and that he could learn. And through my 2 years as first vice and second vice, he's been by my side the entire time. When I went to Chicago as a delegate representing Edgecombe County, he was there. When I went to the governor's mansion to meet with the governor, he was there. When I'm meeting with representatives from the state, he's there. And through these experiences, not only has he been able to learn what the position entails, but he's also been able to find his own voice and his own direction. On top of that, if you look at the bylaws for the planning organization, it calls for one executive member has to be under the age of 35 if someone is available. He's 26 years old. He is half Hispanic. He represents the LGBTQ community. All of these are areas that we are desperately needing people to engage in within Edgecombe County. So having representation that they can see and that we can actually send out into these communities will make a huge difference. On top of that, well, I might be the data guy that all of you know, and I do the data behind the scenes. What makes our partnership so great is he's always been the face. He's the leading person. He's the one that when you need him, you can't help but be engaged and want to know more. So while I'm behind the scenes, I don't stay behind the scenes. I appreciate that he's now ready to step forward and be that voice for the community, and be the voice for Edgecombe County, and be the voice for so many communities that don't have a voice and are being silenced more and more every day. So with that, I would like to formally suggest that Robert Ochoa be nominated for first place. Thank you.
And the floor is now open for nominations.
I nominate Robert Ochoa.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. Then having that said, then I need a motion and a second, that Robert Ochoa was assumed the position of first vice chair. All right. Now we're down to our
Wow, won't that lovely?
the last position, and that is of the chair. All right. I just want to read that chair has a lot of work to do, so I'm just gonna try to summarize. Okay, as best I can. All right. Presides at the executive committee meetings and conventions. Drafts and consult with the county committee. Executes the strategy plan for the county. Appoints acting chairs for headquarters and working hard to maintain it. She's done fundraising behind the doors, support small businesses like hosting pop-ups, visited and helped other organizations that are struggling and need reorganization, and active in providing information from the headquarters. And at this time, we have Ms. Free come forward.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, I think the microphone, it doesn't matter. My voice is loud anyway. I would just like to say it's been a pleasure serving as chair of Edgecombe County. It's been a pleasure being the voice of Edgecombe County when I go out of our township, when I go to Raleigh, when I'm on my chair meetings with different people, be it the Senator Candy Smith, Congressman Don Davis, State Chair Anderson Clayton, whomever it is that I'm speaking to, always tell me they hear the enthusiasm in my voice when I'm talking about our county. The reason why is because I love this county, and I enjoy being the voice of the county, trying to get what the county needs. And I think they're now knowing me as the person who continuously begs, because I'm always asking for donations. So, and reminding them when they say they want to give a donation that I haven't received it yet. As we know that we do fundraisers at the headquarters to keep the headquarters going. You all know that in December of last year it was reported that we had 22,000 plus in the bank for our headquarters, not our sustaining fund, but we had enough money. I think we had around 20,000 or something like that in sustaining funds. I was told that Edgecombe County has never had that kind of money in their account before. But what it is it's important to have those funds there because it's important to have a headquarters. There are a lot of people that I don't see everybody's face, but I just want to ask for those who came to know Edgecombe County Democratic Party because they found out it was a headquarters in town and they could come. Can you please stand? Okay, so as you look around the room, you see some of the people who are standing. And the reason why they know that we have a party is because we have a headquarters.
Well, I will be damned. The reason why people know that we have a party in Edgecombe County is because we have a headquarters. As if this is the first time we have had a headquarters. There have been several times. However, continue on.
I do understand some people are afraid of what the bill looks like. And in order to run the headquarters. And we need donations in order to keep that headquarters going. Right now, I think we have roughly $15,000 left in the headquarters account. And that headquarters is up for a new lease in June. And so we're saying that, yes, we have money in the bank, but I don't want to stop with what we have in the bank. We're still begging people for donations because in order to have that headquarters for 1 year, roughly $16,800 is needed to carry it for 1 year. And that's not bad. When you think of where we are located on Main Street, it wasn't just by chance we got that headquarters. It was requested. It was requested to God that we got a headquarters. And it was God who led me past that building in order to see it, that we were able to get it. And then it was God who gave the ability for Congressman Don Davis to give the $5,000 in order to open up that headquarters. And from there, we have been building. And so we have another fundraiser coming up for Mother's Day where we are selling the ticket for a table space. And I think we're already full by now. And Jaquinta, if you would stand, please, if you don't mind. Jaquinta Dickens is a hard worker. She has been helping to get people to come in and purchase a table space. We have a paint sip coming up June 7th. That's another fundraiser. That is a fundraiser. The pay tip is $35 per person, and that is those monies go solely on the headquarters to help pay the rent. And so we do all that we can to make sure we have that space. It's a lot that has been going on behind the scenes. We're trying to get. I had a meeting yesterday with ECU. Jaquinta was there. Reverend Jordan was there. Reverend Gray was there. And quite a few representatives from Edgecombe County was there because we're trying to get a health hub in the headquarters. I don't know that we will qualify, but also that we can get an AED machine in the headquarters. That we have 35 people who would like to be trained for the CPR and class in the AED. They will give us that machine to put in our headquarters to be able to save a life. I believe that headquarters is not just for the Democratic Party. I believe that headquarters is for community. And that is the reason why we have the different events that we have in the headquarters. It's so that we can bring people in so that they can understand what it is we're doing, what it is we're trying to help the community with. And when people come through those doors, we don't ask them when it comes to paint and sip or any other event we do. Even when we had the toy drive, we sold tickets last year for toys to be able to give toys out. I think we were the biggest kids there. We had toys that we gave to the kids, cost them nothing. We had food that we served them, and just to bring community in. So if you're not in this to make sure you bring people together, then you're not the person who needs to be the chair. You have to be an open person with open arms and a mind that is open in order to bring people in and not shut people down. Well, most of all, you've got to be a team player. You know, my kids once asked me, why did I accept this position instead of having a paid position? And it is because someone had to do this position. Didn't have to be Alfreda, but someone had to be willing to take on the position. And so when I asked, after 4 people had turned it down, what did you have to do? I was told 3 things, though you heard how many things it really is, plus more than what's on that paper. And so I took it in order to be able to put in my 100%, and whatever else over that. It's been a pleasure doing it, and I look forward to hopefully continue on for another 2 years. It's been a pleasure.
Wow. Giles gave information, and then I know that was more than 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't keep up with the time, but I found it quite interesting to talk about the headquarters, and we'll get back to that later. But it has been headquarters on Main Street, right across basically from where it is now. And then down further on the other end, not far from beside Bailey's, the jewelry store that used to be there, had a headquarters there several years ago. And then in the last hour, Deborah Jordan had opened up one, a little small space. Didn't last too long. But anyway, there have been headquarters in Tarboro over the years, and like I say, on Main Street. But remember the headquarters conversation, because more about the headquarters is coming shortly.
Any nominations from the floor?
Oh, and also remember the team player, open to folk, and all that, going back to the prayer as well. But remember the conversation that you just heard.
And before I do, let me just say that I think some are very ambitious in the higher position. But that said, I'd like to nominate. Okay, so we.
So, Miss Natalie Ori was nominated. I didn't hear anybody nominate the county chair, Alfreda Perkins. But let's continue.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you. My name is Natalie O'Reed. I do live in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I am self-employed. I'm employed by medical doctors that refer, at this time, children who have communication impairments. Therefore, I am all over Nash, Edgecombe, Halifax, even Wilson County, and I come in contact with a lot of people. So I can say for certain that each day my boots are on the ground. Also, I am life member of the NAACP, and I have been fighting for the rights of people all my life. I'm also a graduate of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and I understand statistics, and statistics represent what you do. I am seeking this position, or I accept the position in the election, because I'm in it to win it. I'm interested in supporting candidates across our counties and our nation in the Democratic Party that want to be elected. And I realize that these candidates cannot get elected if they don't have the vote. So my primary emphasis is on educating the communities. And I'm already in the communities. I'm already educating. I've done phone banking. I've done door knocking throughout the years. I didn't just start. I've been doing this for years in the medical community in Rocky Mount. And so I'm no stranger to the process. I'm no stranger to the work. And I do the work when I'm asked or not. And I'm also willing to share what I have with anybody else that needs information that I have. And so with that being said, I do accept the nomination. Thank you.
Please go turn the light back on.
Testing, testing, we talking to the right. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Is it not on?
Yes, I came to nominate myself. Commissioner Dan said I'm going to use something to read it. So eloquently. He read everybody. But it ain't got nothing to do with you. Let me go forward. Look out here. Look out here. Wow. After Natalie O'Reed did her spiel, again, she was nominated. Still don't remember Alfreda being nominated. However, I observed, I came with a prepared speech simply because if no one that I felt that I could support was up for chair, I was going to nominate myself. Now, mind you, I know how folk work because they campaign, call precinct chairs. I mean, some people do to get support. Well, I did not reach out to anyone. Did not ask anyone to nominate me because I was waiting to see who were going to be the candidates. I don't recall getting any information in an email, text, or whatever about who the slate of officers were. I didn't think anybody was going to seek the office except Alfreda, the current chair. However, I know Natalie O'Ree had been talking about it, and I told her I could not support her, and I told her that I might put my name out there. But I did not. I was not going to submit my name to the fake nominating committee, whatever it was, because I knew what was going on. I had received a call that the chair were reaching out to folk to try to get somebody to run against Natalie O'Ree for third vice, and they refused. They said they refused, and obviously they did because they didn't do it today. Seek the third vice chair position. But again, I nominated myself after sitting there observing how this meeting was going. First of all, when I looked at the agenda and seen how the election process was going to go from bottom up, from secretary up to the chair, I smelt a rat in the house. Roy, I turned around and asked Roy had he seen that, and he chuckled as well. However, I stood up and nominated myself, and approached to give Giles my information to read, and the chair said no. I said, well, she read everybody else's so eloquently. She said, well, they took theirs in earlier. I said, what they have to do with it? I said, because this whole thing been out of order anyway. So I said, I'll read it. So I read my information to put the qualifications out there, because I know damn well I'm more qualified than any one of those on the committee now and previously, because I've been there, done that. But I wanted to show just what was going on in the room today. So I'll let you hear what I had to say, and we'll continue.
Good morning, fellow Democratic delegates. I am Camilla Stanton II. I have served as a precinct vice chair for 10-1 during the late 80s until the flood of 1999. After the flood, I moved to precinct 11-1 in the early 2000s and served as vice chair until the chair and I switched roles. I served as the county third vice chair in the 90s by default because I was the youngest person to attend the meeting, and one of the county officers had to be 37 or under. I was in my 20s. I was appointed the county chair in 1997 and served the unexpired term of the county chair, who stepped down to run against another Democrat. The first vice chair had a hip replacement and didn't want to take on the chair role. The second vice stepped down, I believe Reverend Gray. Which one would you do? First or second? At the time. Sure. Second, right, that's what I thought. Stepped down to go to work for Congresswoman Eva Clay. I was the third vice, and the late Charles Knight said I had to move up because some didn't want Reverend Roosevelt Hicks to get the appointment. He nominated me, and I accepted. I had vowed to run for the school board, but I focused on keeping the county party together and didn't really campaign for the school board seat. That year we got Carol White re-elected as the clerk of court, and we got first black sheriff, Sheriff James Knight. I had 1 hour productive county meeting. All the county officers got my personal agenda that I had prepared with my talking points, section in the plan of organization that we were going to deal with during each and every meeting, just in case if there was an emergency and I could not be at the meeting, but I made them all. The precinct chairs and the other executive committee members received the agenda with the sections that we
information and notices for all needs, along with being informed about what is going on the local, state, and national level. And everybody know I video everywhere I go. I will hold, and was not allowed to video anything. I will hold all our elected officials that represent our county accountable for their actions. I will hold the state Democratic Party accountable also. I will be the voice of Edgecombe County Democrats along with you, as we will be a force to be reckoned with if you want a knowledgeable and resourceful person to lead you. I am that guy. I am the Louis Nancy, Precinct Level 1, County Executive Committee member, State Executive Committee member, 3 terms, Eastern Oklahoma Civic Group, Regional Director, 23 counties, NAACP Bridge Life Full Page member, and School Board Redistricting Group that's going on at the moment. Thank you. And I'm reading the floor. Wow. I had my speech prepared. I'm just speechless because to be the most qualified of the 3 candidates, myself included, to make up the 3, folk, and I understand how folk do. Like I said, people campaign for seats, and so I understand how the process works. I refused to turn my name into the nominating committee because I didn't like it, and I just refused because they was already scheming and putting people in place whom they wanted to serve. So I was not going to give them my information to even let them know I was coming today to do it. However, I had mentioned it to certain folk what I might do. But let's continue on because it gets gooder and gooder. Wow. Bronson Williams said, is there any more nominations? What was that all about? If it were, people would have stood up as Monica Taylor did to nominate Nat Lowry, and as I did, nominate myself. Again, here we go.
So then, I think how we have to call your names, and then we'll ask the delegate or whoever the designate to let us know who you're designating your votes for. That's the best way else to do it right now.
Do we have time to caucus?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Wow. For the nominating committee to whatever they call themselves, not to have everything in place, how the process would have taken place if there were several candidates for one seat. So I see that was not a part of the process. They can do their vote. Can you tell them how they can cast their vote?
They can cast it. You can split. You don't have to vote for one candidate. Right? You can split your votes if you like to precincts. You're available to split it if you like. Yes,
May we ask a question of the candidate?
Yes. How would you like to ask?
Ms. Lori,
Ms. Lori?
headquarters here in Tarboro that's been.
Wow, before I let you hear the rest, I found that quite interesting because what's about to the question that was asked, simply because when I sat down beside this lady, I didn't know her, but she saw my name because I had my badge on because I had went to work 4 o'clock this morning, and she said, "Oh, you Camilla's dancing." So therefore, I know my name had been called. Had been part of a discussion with her. So I found that quite interesting. Um, let's continue on to hear her question to Natalie Ori.
Established. That is not up to me. That is up to the chair.
The question was, in case you didn't quite get it because I had paused, but her question was to Natalie Ori, if she was to become chair, would she move the headquarters to Rocky Mount? And Natalie Ori, I thought, answered the question quite well, but listen to what the county chair, Alfreda Garrett, had to say about it.
No, I'm sorry. It is not in the plan of organization. It is the person that is the chair at the time can decide to have a headquarters. But then you must know how you're going to pay for that headquarters. You don't.
Wow, it is the chair. It's not in the plan of organization to have a headquarters. It's up to the chair at that time. So if it's up to the chair at that time, obviously they are going to foot the bill, because why would you ask the party members to participate in fundraisers when it's the county chair? So she said, it's not in the plan of organization. It's up to the county chair to have a headquarters and all that kind of stuff. That was quite interesting. Continue on.
Have to vote on it. It is not in the plan of organization, and it's not on the state website. It is the communication of the chair. Yeah, thank you. Any other questions for any of the candidates? Yes.
Wow. I just can't get past that. It's not in the plan of organization, and it's not in the on the website or whatever that meant. I'm just totally confused. My dumb ass just totally confused.
That's appointed by the chair. Treasurer appointed by the chair. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, I would just ask that once a question is asked, that you repeat the question so that everybody can hear it, because there were two statements made. I'm sitting pretty close and I didn't hear or understand because people are still in the process of caucusing. So if you would just
Yes, ma'am.
ask the chairman or
The question here was to Ms. O'Reilly that she lives in Rocky Mount, and would she keep the headquarters here in Hopper?
okay, what was that question today?
And then Ms. Knight, Ms. Knight, did you have a question?
Wow. During the caucus, that's when the candidates ought to, not the candidates, but any question should have been asked, should have been asked of the candidate during the caucus and not publicly as it was done. But again, the chair, I'm just saying that's how I would have done it since we was in the caucus mode. That's how it should have been done, in my opinion. But I'm just a dumbass. So, but let's continue on because again, it gets gooder and gooder.
She want to know about the treasurer. The treasurer is appointed by the chair. And might I just also say, though it is the decision of the chair, whomever the chair is, to have a headquarters or not, those decisions that you make is based on what you're told by your precinct members. If your precinct members are saying they would like to have a headquarters, if you have a majority of the people who are saying they would like to have a headquarters, then definitely you want to try
Wow. My dumb ass confused even more now with that follow-up statement from the chair. But again, let's continue to listen because it get gooder and gooder.
So you have a question for you.
Yes.
And your question is, you say you work in Rocky Mountain. You say you work in Melville, doing your what about the county? You forgot about the county? Do you care about the county? Or you just worry about the city?
Did you hear my question?
I did. I heard that.
All right.
Rocky Mountain is one of the largest portions of Edgecombe County population-wise. And even though I live there, and that's where I primarily do my door knocking, it's quite a bit of territory. Now, I did attempt to do some interaction with Tarboro last year, and that was a little bit more time-consuming for me as an individual to do, and there needed to be more people with boots on the ground for that. So, in every community, I feel that there can be a systematic scheduling of activities, whether it be door knocking, phone banking, or general interaction that can be done at all levels, all during the year, and not just right before election day. Does that answer your question?
No, you do not. You're saying Charles and Rocky Mountain. You're not saying the county. I say the county.
Well, I live
Wow. Come on, Sam. What's your point? She's running for the chair position now. You can't compare that to her being the third vice chair at that time. You say you live in the county. So what are you saying? She didn't reach out to you? I mean, just what are you saying? You're a precinct chair. So why would she need to reach out to you? Again, I didn't. Well, you'll see what I had to say. Let's continue.
the county, okay, and I do respect the county. And as chair, I will fulfill wherever my duties call me. I'm not one to neglect someone purposefully. However, when I have a job to do, I'm willing to divide it up and to do it within reason with the cooperation of the precinct chairpersons. Thank you.
Any more questions? Yes.
I have a question. You can wait to answer it. All my understanding is that being the chair, you are supposed to help people do the raising, right? Going around in the county or help them get the opportunity or the resources to do the circle around in that county. Now, if it's up to the precinct or the county to go around and do their own obligation to that county, it's only when they are called you to bring in somebody to help them do that, if I'm not correct.
I'm going to say what I don't know that exactly this is what you're saying. But let me just say, so in Edgecombe County, we have 21 precincts, right? All 21 precincts, Canita, on down to Whitaker's, on over to Michaelsville, Einstock, wherever you are called, that's where you go. Someone asked me to come to their meeting, I come to their meeting. Someone's having a meeting in Princeville that I found out about, I'll go to their meeting. You go wherever you're called, but then this is not the only thing what's on paper that a chair has to do. I'm on Zoom meetings with different people, whether it's the congressman or the senator, whether it is on the state chair level, whether it is the meetings that we have that are chair meetings with the other counties. And there is a lot of work involved. You cannot just put time in one space. And sometimes you're just pulled different places, but you've got to be committed to do it. And so you drop some things that's just personal for yourself in order to do what you have to do for community. So
So it's a lot of work there. It's not something that's easy, but as far as going into your precincts, for instance, I would only come into your precinct if you say to me, Alfreda, we're going to knock doors. Would you come and knock doors with me? Yes, I will come and knock doors if someone else hasn't asked me to do something on that day.
So it doesn't matter whether you live in Rocky Mount, Tarboro, or Whitaker, or whatever in Edgecombe County. No matter what tier you live, right? So
Well,
it
no
doesn't
matter
matter.
where you live, if you're the chair, you go where you're needed. But you should be showing yourself that you're actually out there working in the different spaces. You just I can't just stay here in Tarboro and work in Tarboro. And when it came to organizing precincts, I went to a lot of people's meetings in here when they organized their precincts.
So it's up to the chair of that county or that precinct to get you into to help them do all the volunteering.
Yes, the precincts have the most important role, and you've heard me say this more than once, the most important role in this business is the precincts. It's the chair and the officers in each of the precincts. Those are the most important people because the state doesn't know your neighbors. I don't know your neighbors. I have a printout to tell me who your neighbors are. But you are the most important people because you can get out and talk to your neighbors about anything. Help host events, bringing your neighbors in. There's a lot that we all can do, but you can't be every place at one time. That's the thing.
Wow. My dumb ass confused again because, again, Natalie O'Reilly is the third vice chair. What Sam said, a precinct chair, and what Petway said, a precinct chair, and what the county chair came back and said is contradictory. You cannot hold Natalie O'Reilly accountable for whatever. She said she worked her neighborhood. Damn, that's what the county chair just said. You work your neighborhood. That she didn't know your neighbors. Well, Natalie O'Reilly said she worked Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook is a big area. And she said that's what she worked. However, she did say she tried to work in Tarboro. It was a little more time consuming and all that. Again, I have a problem with how this meeting was carried out. And then what you just heard was Giles asked, did I have anything to say? I want to respond to that, and I think she said the chair. I don't know, but let's continue on because again, like I said, it get gooder and gooder. No, I don't. But I want to move on with this because I have never seen an election done like this. So move on. You ain't supposed to be asking questions. That's the case.
This meeting is a meeting that's held, and the chair is on this meeting. This is not a meeting to talk about your begrudging of anything. If you got someplace else to go, there's the door. There's the door. I'm sorry. But this meeting is going to be held accordingly. And if someone has a question, ask your question.
Let's hear that again.
That's appointed by the chair. Treasurer appointed by the chair. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, I would just ask that once a question is asked, that you repeat the question so that everybody can hear it, because there were two statements made, and I'm sitting pretty close, and I didn't hear or understand.
1-3, Doris Smith. You can split your vote.
Like that, and then we're going to do it together. Ms. Martha Johnson.
Then you can give all three to one person. I'm going to say what I don't know that exactly this is what you're saying. But let me just say. So in Edgecombe County, we have 21 precincts, right? All 21 precincts. Canita, on down to Whitaker's, on over to Michaelsville, Pine-Top. Wherever you are called, that's where you go. Someone asked me to come to their meeting. I their meeting. Someone's having a meeting in Princeville that I found out about, I'll go to their meeting. You go wherever you're called, but then this is not the only thing what's on paper that a chair has to do. I'm on Zoom meetings with different people, whether it's the congressman or the senator, whether it is on the state chair level, whether it is the meetings that we have that are chair meetings with the other counties. And there is a lot of work involved. You cannot just put time in one space. And sometimes you just pull different places, but you've got to be committed to do it. And so you drop some things that's just personal for yourself in order to do what you have to do for community. So it's a lot of work there. It's not something that's easy, but as far as going into your precincts, for instance, I would only come into your precinct if you say to me, Alfreda, we're going to knock doors. Would you come and knock doors with me? Yes, I will come and knock doors if someone else hasn't asked me to do something on that day.
So it doesn't matter whether you live in Rocky Mount, Tarboro, Whitaker, or whatever in Edgecombe County, no matter what chair you live, right? So
well, no matter where you live, if you're the chair, you go where you're needed. But you should be showing yourself that you're actually out there working in the different spaces. You just I can't just stay here in Tarboro and work in Tarboro. And when it came to organizing precincts, I went to a lot of people's meetings in here when they organized their precincts.
So it's up to the chair of that county or that precinct to get you into to help them do all the volunteer.
Yes, the precincts have the most important role, and you've heard me say this more than once, the most important role in this business is the precincts. It's the chair and the officers in each of the precincts. Those are the most important people because the state doesn't know your neighbors. I don't know your neighbors. I have a printout to tell me who your neighbors are. But you are the most important people because you can get out and talk to your neighbors about anything. Help host events, bringing your neighbors in. There's a lot that we all can do, but you can't be every place at one time. That's the thing.
To Ms. O'Reilly, Mr. Dance want to address the question.
Wow, as we get back to where I stopped at, I want to replay it because I want you to hear how the county chair responded to me. What tickles the hell out of me is how it was out of order, the questions to Natalie O'Reilly, and then to keep going back and forth. Then she come back and explain it, how she say the process should work about you going anywhere else to canvas and do all that when Natalie O'Reilly asked was she concerned about the whole county. What I was doing, trying to bring the meeting back into the caucuses so we could get through the votes. And that's when I was told if I had somewhere else to go, Negro, I don't have to be told if I have somewhere else to go. I know how the hell to get up and go. I went to work 4 o'clock this morning and worked to 8 o'clock and got off, went and got my dad some breakfast, went to Sam Club, filled up my car, went by my cousin's house, dropped off her some breakfast, went to Pine Top, dropped off my daddy breakfast, and then headed to Tarboro to the convention. So if I had any damn where I wanted to go, I am a 62-year-old grown-ass man, and nobody has to tell me where a damn door is, the one that I walked through and have been walking through for years before her ass even came to North Carolina. I know where the damn door is. But I tell you, that is going to be the last time I be disrespected in a county Democratic Party meeting. And I stay silent. I have done that over the past 2 years. I resigned as the first vice chair because I knew we was going to bump heads because I saw how things were going. So that's why I resigned as the first vice chair of the county party, because I was not going to be a part of a committee that 6 officers when everybody was new except Stephanie, who is not elected the treasurer but appointed, and the others had no damn clue. And then Carol, and then the county chair. The day I resigned, I was in New Bern, 4th of July Friday. We had a damn call meeting on the phone. I sat in the car at my mother-in-law house in New Bern, and we had been sent some information about dealing with the money. And I was the only one that spoke up, and how I was responded to from the county chair. I said, you will receive my letter of resignation tonight before 12 o'clock when I get back in Edgecombe County. Before I could get back, she had already sent out that I had resigned. That is not how you do when someone resigns. You don't resign until you get it. It's not official till you get it in writing. What would have happened if I had changed my mind and not resigned? But no, she was glad that I resigned so she would not have anybody to challenge her. I just didn't have time to, like I say, deal with a party of other officers who had no clue when I know what the hell I'm doing, knew the plan of organization, so I just refused. But let's continue on. We're almost getting to the end. I'm not going to play the entire video, audio, but let's get past this. No, I don't. What I want to do is move on, because I have never seen an election done like this. So move on. You ain't supposed to be asking questions. That's the case for long time. Let's go ahead on and move forward.
This meeting is a meeting that's held, and the chair is on this meeting. This is not a meeting to talk about your.
What was that? This is a meeting, and the chair is on the meeting. What the hell was that?
Grudging of anything. If you got someplace else to go, there's the door. There's the door. I'm sorry, but this meeting is going to be held accordingly. And if someone has a question, ask your question.
It was caucus time, and the damn question should have been taken to the person, but because the whole damn process was out of order, this is what we got. Again, like I said, it was not in order the way the conversation was going, the questions that were being asked, and I was trying to bring us back in, as I always do. And that's why I never vote on the Treasury report, because that mess be all jacked up every damn meeting, and I am not going to vote on the Treasury report, because I know, like I said, when I resigned as the vice chair, first vice chair in July, the same year I was elected around the county convention was held in April, whenever May, and I resigned in July. But let's continue on. That's why I put my name in the
Precinct
So you going to what?
I just want to put my name in the hat. It's option.
Okay,
How
can
it
we
gonna turn out.
just get back to this? All
That's what I
right.
had.
Are the precincts ready for the cast your vote?
Wow. Now she wants to get back to the meeting. Well, damn, that's what I said. So here we go. It was said earlier, it ain't about friendship, but that's what it's been all about. The little cliques in this damn Edgecombe County Democratic Party. But again, like I said, I would not attend another meeting and be disrespected by the county chair and no damn body else. You're going to get a response. I just wanted to let people see how this thing all unfolded, because I have seen how she have been very disrespectful to what's his name, Jim Wren, as he have brought good information to the county executive committee, and also as he questioned the chair motives. But you can continue on to hear how the voting process. I think she, and like I said, I recorded the entire meeting earlier, did a live audio. But I think she received 100 votes, if I'm not mistaken, and Ori received 45, I believe. Anyway, you can go back and listen to it. And then I received 4, because I had 3 votes, and I voted for myself, and then another precinct gave me 1 vote. However, what tickles the hell out of me is some precincts have 3, 9, 20 something, and all that. It was funny because none of the other precincts, say for instance, like I think Bronson precinct that comes to mind had 23 votes, I believe it was. Gave them all to Elfrida when they knew she was gonna win. They could have gave me 1 vote and could have gave Natalie Overy 1 vote. But it's funny as hell to me because see, I know what time it was, and like I say, I'm good, you know. But again, that's how it all unfolded. But the highlight for me was to open up with prayer by Reverend Roy Gray, to act accordingly, and then for the statement to be read by the chair about inclusion. And then I was told that if I had somewhere to go, that there was the door, because I came in there with my grudges. I don't have a damn grudge with nobody, because you ain't even on my damn level. So hear me. See, because I know the Democratic Party plan an organization. I've been there, done that. And I know when I'm dealing with folk that are ignorant to the plan of organization. Ignorant to the plan of organization and what's going on in the county. Now, what tickles the hell out of me is talking about being on Zoom calls and going to Greenville yesterday, and Roy Gray was there, and Shaquana Wiggins was there, and Richard Joyner. I got a damn call yesterday about you was in Greenville, and talking about you was the chair of the party and all this kind of stuff, and folk was like, really? What the hell that got to do with anything? I know a hell of a lot more than what some folk think I know, but it's all good. But just continue on, because my thing is, you never mention anything about what's going on the local level. We have county commissioner meetings, city council meetings, town council meetings, town of Tarboro, Rocky Mount, Canita, the school board. Right now, one of the hottest damn things going on in Edgecombe County is the redistricting of the Edgecombe County School Board. Nothing was mentioned about that. Nothing was mentioned about the judge race that has not been certified because of the Republican don't want to accept that he lost. Bills that been put on the floor and different things. Jim Wren talked about he was going to bring a resolution where we held Don Davis accountable about the SAVE Act. I learned of a call, and I sent it out to folk, and we was on the call with Don Davis about the SAVE Act. And then the civic group, we sent a letter to Don Davis. What did Edgecombe County Democratic Party do? Not a damn thing. Because they're not focused on what's going on in the county. They have not stood up for the Edgecombe County Sheriff offices getting raises. Again, go back to the school board redistricting. Over 10,000 black children come back from Nash County side. At the moment, Rocky Mount has no representation on the school board because none of the school board members' election has been up since it took place the beginning of this school year. So therefore, we are in the redistricting process. I just happen to be a member of a committee, but also speaking for myself, long-time school board challenger, holding them accountable. Can you imagine if Edgecombe County got 21 precincts? All of them are not organized, but the ones that are organized, you have a chair and a vice chair. Can you imagine if the ones that organize, if one or both of the chairs, the county chair, the other 5 officers, went to a school board meeting, went to a county commissioner meeting, Democrats don't have to say anything, but just be in there. So you can be informed about what the hell is going on, because they are doing maps. They start out with 3, A, B, and C. Then the whites wanted to add a D, which wanted to make their school board district look like the county commissioner district, which is crazy. I didn't make it to the last meeting because I went to the Rocky Mount City Council meeting because I had heard that they were going to be hiring, appointing a city manager. I was told in our meeting that at the school board meeting that our chairperson of the school board voted along with the white board members who was trying to keep their positions and splitting up them precincts and all that communities and all that kind of foolishness. I videoed the meeting. So, matter of fact, some person just contacted me as I was ready to do this live. Heard that I had videoed the meeting. They was trying to find it, a white female. And so I just sent them the link. But again, I keep hearing about I'm on a Zoom call. I'm dealing with Don Davis and Candace Smith, and I didn't hear Sheila Willingham name called, and there's a reason for that because Abby Lane ran against him. Also, I think Shelley didn't reappoint Sam Branch to the ABC board, but I was hoping Shelley was going to be there today, because I understand that at the Bertie County convention last week that he announced that he was not running again. So I was hoping he was going to be there today. But I found it strange that today nobody, no local official but Viola Harris, county commissioner, was present. Other than, now Evelyn Wilson was there, and I know why she was there. But no Doug Davis, no video. No Shelley Willingham, no video. No Candace Smith, no video. But it was 2 judges that was shown. And I'm trying to figure out where in the hell they come from. I ain't never heard of them. I don't think they are in our district. Edgecombe County. I don't remember. I can't recall who they are. I was familiar with Anita Earls. Matter of fact, she would be the speaker for our Eastern North Carolina Civic Group meeting scholarship banquet that will be held at Edgecombe Community College on August the 9th here in Edgecombe County, Edgecombe Community College. Scholarship banquet hosted by the Eastern North Carolina Civic Group, bringing it to Edgecombe County. But, again, where is the damn local connection? Help me understand. At one time, you had the damn state chair, the vice chair, the second vice chair. They was coming here regularly, and I could talk about that because I'll talk about it later, some other time. I think I mentioned it before about the call I got from them because of me challenging the county chair, and I think I was supposed to be scared. But I told them to bring their asses on down here. We can have a meeting, but that meeting never took place. But anyway, Edgecombe County Democratic Party is in a hell of a mess. And until the folk that have no clue, we have not had a real Democratic Party meeting in the last 2 years. It's sad. But anyway, as I stated earlier, that in my closing, before I get to Viola Harris's comments, announcement, when I was the first vice chair, I did a complete list of all the county executive committee members, which included all the elected officials whom are not considered as a part of the what you call it, a part of the executive committee where they can be considered as eligible to meet the quorum, but they are ex officio members and they can vote during times other than the county convention, because the county convention and district convention is delegates. So if they came, they would have to vote along with the precincts. Say for instance, if Shelley Willingham lived in my precinct, I got 3 votes, so he would have to be a part of those 3 votes. That's how that works. But again, where is the local connect? I got a problem with that. All politics is local. If again Jim Wynn had not brought up about the SAVE Act, and then Viola Harris, County Commissioner, gave some good information. If it had not been for them, no real information was given. Nothing from the chair, nothing from nobody else. So what's the purpose of the county meetings? It's sad. Back in the day, when the numbers came in on election night, because the Democratic Party was well organized, the candidates considered it a victory. But now, it is crazy because we have folk that are not abreast of the plan of organization, probably ain't never looked at it. And like I said in my speech, every meeting that I had, let me go back. Let me go back real quick. 'Cause I want to talk about this. Okay, when I saw the agenda, after getting to the meeting, why the agenda was sent out to the precincts, to the delegates? No, because by damn design. Yeah, by design. I read in my speech that when I had meetings, there's no way I would have a meeting and not make all the folk involved that got votes, and anybody on the county Democrat that wanted to get the information and attend the meetings. People tell me all the time they are not getting information, but they was getting it when I did the list. I stayed up all day or night, went to work that morning. Work was slack. I went back home that morning and worked on it until about 5 o'clock that evening. And then when I stepped down, I still got the list now. And then when I stepped down, the list was redone. I think at one time it was stated that the chair, her and Abby did it. But anyway, I do know folk were not getting information at the meeting last month. I was sitting beside some elected officials, and they said they had not gotten, they do not get notices about the meetings. Just because they're not a precinct chair nor a county officer, they are members, voting members of the Democratic Party. And they are not receiving information. We're talking about your clerk of court. We're talking about your sheriff. We're talking about your register of deeds. We're talking about any capacity a Democrat serve in. Again, when I had my meetings, I sent out the section in the planning organization, say for instance the county commissioner, the county convention. Today, when folk got to the meeting, they would have known what was going to be done per the section in the planning organization, and also spelled out. And I called all my precinct chairs and vice chairs before every meeting. Yes, I did. During that time, I had an elderly secretary, a school teacher, retired school teacher, very eloquent. I did all the work, typed it up, went and met with her at Golden Corral, used to be a Golden Corral in Tarboro, beside where the KFC is now, and sat down. She looked over it. After consulting with her on the phone, I typed it up, did everything, and we agreed to it. Went back, sent it all out, because during that time, I had to mail the information out. I mailed it out to the precincts, and then I called them. I kept them abreast of what was going on. Like I said, I've been recording meetings since around 1996. So I made my people aware of what was going on in the county, because I attended all of the meetings, school board, county commission, all of them. Most of the time, I was the only one at the meetings by myself. But it's all good. But moving forward, with all that's going on with the other party and all this foolishness, I will not sit back any longer and allow folk that making decisions on my livelihood, my family, friends, and others. Because I found out a long time ago, everybody benefits, even folk that you wish you could not be a voice for, but they're going to reach the benefits anyway, so you have no control of that. But I will not move forward and be disrespected by the county chair and no other. So this is a first and final warning. If you come at me sideways, I'm coming back. No more will you get away with it. I did what I did for the past 2 years to let folks see where we are headed. But because folk in the room are ignorant to how the party works and stuck on the damn headquarters and fundraisers and all that, and nothing about what's going on with local politics, we are doomed. We are doomed. So I'm going to continue to do what I do. Record meetings, put it out on Facebook, YouTube, and I'm going to talk about it. Hey, it ain't about me. It's about what's good for the county. But I am not limited to Edgecombe County because I attend the Eastern North Carolina Civic Group every second Saturday in the month and be on a call every Wednesday night. Because what I like about it is, I tell folks, you can't get it all done in a month, and sometimes it takes every week or even more than that. Like I said, I'm a regional director for 23 counties. So out there, no folk across the state got resources, and not cliques. I have no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, only permanent interests. I am for truth, no matter who it's for or against. I have no problem with speaking truth to power. I say things that other folks are afraid to say publicly. And a lot of time I get credit for saying stuff that I hear other folks say behind closed doors because they be scared to say it publicly, and I have no problem with that. Well, y'all, this has been Late Night Live, the DCN Smoke, bringing you what happened at the Edgecombe County Democratic Party Convention on today. And again, I repeat, I will not be disrespected in another meeting, be it the Democratic Party or anywhere. I am a 62-year-old grown-ass man, and if you older than I respect folk and older and younger. So if you don't want this smoke, don't light the damn fire, because I will bring the smoke. So y'all have a good night.